Valentine's Day of 2019 was a very special one for Mahindra as it launched its first ever subcompact crossover. Named the XUV 3XO, it was a tad late to the party, dominated by established players like the Maruti Brezza and the Tata Nexon, only ended up playing catch-up. Now, despite its inherent robustness, validated by a 5-star crash test rating, its dour interiors and a lack of features compared to the competition meant that it was time to give it a complete makeover and a new name. Welcome to carandbike. My name is Girish Karkera and this is the new Mahindra XUV 3XO. Designed in-house at Mahindra's studio in Mumbai and honed at its R&D facility in Chennai, the 3XO is a facelifted version of the XUV 3XO and not a new generation. It would be built at its Nasik plant. The design changes are restricted to the front and rear. Silhouette and side panels remain mostly untouched. The only obvious difference in profile is the larger 17-inch wheels with a marginal increase in ground clearance. While the older XUV 3XO had a more upright stance, with the XUV 3XO, it's become all out in the crossover zone. If you look at it, it looks more horizontal and makes it look much wider. The front is a little bit of a resemblance to the bigger XUV 700, which is not too bad. The rear, however, looks a little forced with its protruding tail lamps. However, I like this infinity LED lamp running across the rear. That's a neat touch.
300 used to be sold in both petrol and diesel engine options. A 1.2 litre MPFI, a 1.2 direct injection petrol and a 1.5 litre turbo diesel. 3XO gets a new flagship automatic alongside the 1.2 TGDI from the M Stallion family. This churns out 19 bhp and 30 Newton meters more than the base petrol engine and gets mated to a 6-speed manual or a new 6-speed automatic. The latter is a 3rd generation torque converter type gearbox. With the 3XO, the powertrain combinations have thus expanded. The diesel is available with either a 6-speed manual or an improved 6-speed AMT that Mahindra calls AutoShift. This has claimed fuel efficiency figure of over 20 kpl. We reckon it would be around 15 to 16 kpl in the real world. The turbo petrol is rated at 18 to 20 km per litre, that is an estimated 14 to 15 km per litre on road, while the MPFI is claimed to return 18 to 19 km per litre, which would mean around 13 to 14 km per litre in normal driving conditions.
So like other engines from this M Stallion family, this one too feels super refined right from the moment when you start the car and it sets into an idling speed. Floor it and you get instantly gratified with the surge of torque. You can get that sense of speed in the way the cogs move smoothly in the gearbox. There is no hesitation, and given a decent stretch of road, you should be able to do 0 to 100 in just over 10 seconds, which is fast for a car in this segment especially. Overall, while driving, you notice how the NVH levels have improved significantly with this makeover. The 3XO also gets disc brakes both at the front and rear. So just like the design has a hint of 700 in it, the view from the driver's seat is also very familiar. You're sitting high, you're sitting tall, you get a nice view of the road ahead of you. A large steering wheel in your hand, a digital cluster in front of you. It has 700 written all over it. The overall trims and colors are also reminiscent of the big SUV. Look closely and you realize some misses. We had ripple leatherette on one of the door trim, while the white looks great. Keeping it clean may be an uphill task in our weather and dusty conditions, especially for an SUV. Perforated seating should not be confused with electric seat ventilation. The touchscreen size is great, although it has a bit of a lag and we had trouble connecting the multimedia from our phone. Visually, However, it has done a great job of taking attention away from the lower half of the front fascia, which looks a bit old school despite the best efforts of the designers. AC controls are easier to read, and there is now an additional 65-watt fast charging point alongside a wireless phone charger. Now, despite being a sub 4 meter, there is enough leg room and knee room at the rear. As you can see, this is my seating position, and there is more than enough. I am around 5 feet 8. I also love the fact that floor is pretty much flat. Even the central hump is not too much. The seats are plush, they are well bolstered, and the panoramic sunroof sort of adds a new airiness to this entire experience. You get a center armrest as well with cup holders. It's a nice touch. AC vents at the rear, but no controls, which might be a problem if you are living in a place where it gets hot, pretty much hot during the daytime. You get a Type-C charger at the rear as well, including a slot to keep the phone in case you do. So clever touches, they have done it. The door has deep pockets for a bottle as well as some other knickknacks that you can put. The headroom is great, and overall it's a pleasant place to be in if you have family or friends and going out. There won't be much complaints about it. Born out of a regulation, the sub 4 meter segment of automobiles in India started off with sedans but was very soon dominated by SUVs. No wonder then we have so many options from so many brands in this segment. The XUV 300 used to do reasonable numbers every month, but it wasn't always in the consideration set of a lot of customers in this segment. Well, that could change now with the 3XO. The makeover has brought in a freshness of new features, and Mahindra has also been able to keep prices in check. A plush ride and an all-new powertrain are the added advantages of the new vehicle. Now, it may look more crossover than SUV, but it remains tough and ticks most of the boxes that makes it a genuine all-round. If you have any more questions about the new 3XO, do leave it in the comments and we will definitely answer them. And if you haven't subscribed to Car and Bike, do subscribe and hit the bell notification so that you do not miss out on any of the content from Car and Bike. Thanks for watching.